And now, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of the whole ages, my name is Madeline, and may I present you another fun-packed episode of Seth's Storytime. And now, here is your host, Seth Loves Fizz and Bella 2003.
Thank you very much, Madeline. And I'm so excited for you guys to sit back and relax and enjoy today's Seth story time, which I'm very excited to hear back from you guys. And we're still reading Thomas the Tank Engine's big storybook. And last week that we read was Thomas and the Guard. Thomas accidentally left the guard at the platform, but he apologizes at the end, which is very good news for him. But today's story that we read is Thomas Goes Fishing. Let's get started then. Every day, as Thomas puffed up and down his branch line with Annie and Clarabelle, he always looked forward to something special. The river. As he rumbled over the bridge, he would see people fishing down below. He often wanted to stay and watch, but his driver always said, "No. What would the fat controller say if we were late?" But Thomas still thought that it would be lovely to stop by the river and do some fishing. One day, Thomas stopped as usual to take in water at the station by the river. Then he saw a big painted notice. It read, "Out of order." "Bother," said Thomas. "I'm thirsty." "Never mind," said his driver. "We'll get some water from the river." They found a bucket and some rope and went to the bridge. Then the driver let the bucket down to the river. The bucket was old and had 5 holes, so they had to fill it, pull it up, and empty it into Thomas's tank as quickly as they could, again and again. At last, they were finished. That's good, puffed Thomas, as he started off again, with Annie and Clarabelle running happily behind. They puffed along the valley until suddenly Thomas began to feel a pain in his boiler. Steam began to hiss from his safety valve in an alarming way. "There's too much steam," said his driver. The fireman tried to let more water into the boiler, but none came. "Oh dear," groaned Thomas. I'm going to burst. They dampened down his fire and he struggled on. I've got such a pain, Thomas hissed. Oh, poor Thomas. It looks like the steam is just hissing down his boiler. Poor him. Let's hope he'll feel better very soon. Let's continue on. They stopped outside the last station, and Annie and Clarabelle were uncoupled. The driver ran Thomas onto a siding right out of the way. He was still hissing fit to burst. Then the guard telephoned for an engine inspector, and the driver found 2 notices that were written in large letters and read, "Danger! Keep away!" Soon, the inspector and the fat controller arrived. "Cheer up, Thomas," they said. We'll soon put you right. The driver told them what had happened. So the feed pipe is blocked, said the inspector. I'll just look in the tanks. He climbed up to have a look, peered in, and then came down. Excuse me, sir, he said to the fat controller. Please look in the tank and tell me what you see. Certainly, Inspector, replied the fat controller and climbed it up. He looked in and nearly fell off in surprise. Oh, you better be careful, fat controller. You just don't want to hurt yourself. Inspector, he whispered, can you see fish? Oh, gracious goodness me! How did the fish get there, driver? Asked the inspector. Thomas's driver scratched his head. Well, we must have fished them out of the river with our buckets, he said. Well, Thomas, so you and your driver have been fishing. But fish don't suit you, and we must get them out, said the fat controller. They all took turns at fishing in Thomas's tank. The fat controller looked on and told them how to do it. When they had caught all the fish, they had a lovely picnic supper of fish and chips. Yum, yum. That was good, said the fat controller. But fish don't suit you, Thomas, so you mustn't do it again. No, sir, I won't, said Thomas sadly. Engines don't go fishing. Oh, it's too uncomfortable. Oh, poor Thomas. He's still got a bit of a pain in his boiler, but at least they got the fish out. And the fat controller certainly told him that he won't fish again. Well, not him, Thomas. But anyways, that's it for today's story time. And that was Thomas Goes Fishing. And I hope you guys, you'll enjoy the video. And I would like to especially thank Madeline for this lovely intro. Thank you, Madeline.
You're welcome, Sethy. I'll be happy to help a friend indeed.
Yes, I know, right? Anyways, make sure you like and subscribe. Turn on notification. You can request me more videos. Don't you ever steal my videos. And give me lots of positive feedbacks. That's all the 6 major things that you guys got to do. Anyways, I'll be seeing you next Saturday for another Seth story time. And I wonder which next week's Thomas story will be. Well, you guys are just going to have to wait and find out. Anyways, peace out.